podcast. I am your host, Dr. Cheat This Sunflower. How y'all feeling? How you feeling? So tonight we're gonna talk about pseudo theology. We're talking about how America made a huge mistake by using pseudo theology and lies, and it's coming to haunt this country right now. I'm sending prayers to all the kind beings around the world. Oh. What up, TikTok? Come in, tap those hearts, guys. Come in and tap those hearts. So why do I say America was built on a bunch of lies? I mean, honestly, we don't even have to have any evidence to understand what this country was built on and why they made a huge mistake. Why they made a huge mistake? Because history always comes back around. So when you talk about history and you want to do documentation and make rules and laws, you want to make sure you are not using these rules and laws to oppress people. Because decades later, this comes back to haunt America. Right? You can't use the fake, I call it pseudo theology. Pseudo theology. Pseudo theology is controlling America. Right? Pseudo theology. This is, for instance, like yesterday we talked about these doctors and these priests who were involved in the makings and shapings of America since the invasion, right? How they use religion as a colonization weapon, how they use the law as a weapon of colonization, right? So America made a fatal mistake by writing everything down in history as a lie. Now, we the Niji, we uncovered this truth. We uncovered that this is a nation built on pseudo theology and lies. Right? So I'm sending peace and love to the tribe. If you're here watching live, go ahead and tap those hearts. I definitely appreciate y'all. You catching the replay, you still right on time. So tonight we're not really talking about anger. Yeah, we could have blame, but it's not about blame. It is about clarity. Right now, Christian nationalists, white males, are running the country. And they are running it, but they made a fatal mistake building this nation on these lies. They made a fatal mistake. So, what is pseudo theology, you might ask? It's a false spirituality used for control. It's a false spirituality used for control. And it is one of the top, it's one of the top things that I see when I go and do historical research, is that it was an easy way to control people, because when you use pseudo theology, it looks like you're doing something right because it's wrapped up in, it looks like you're doing something good. Who's gonna lie about history? Smitty the Living. What's up, Smitty? I like that name. Thank you for liking the live. How you doing today? How you feeling? How you feeling? Thank you for tapping the live. Where you watching from, Smitty? I'm good. And yourself? I'm doing pretty good. Hanging in there. I can't complain. It won't do no good anyways. Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio. What's up, Cleveland? I've never been to Cleveland. What's the weather like there? Is it snowing? Is it cold like here in New York? Alright, so pseudo cold. Yeah, it's cold here too. It's like 18, 19 degrees. It's probably like 9 degrees now. I am not down with the cold. Like, not at all. Thank you for tapping those hearts. You tapping it up. So pseudo-theology is a false spirituality used for control. It's when divine language is used to justify domination. Now, how weird does that sound? I'm going to read it again. It's used when, so pseudo-theology. I came to show some love. I really appreciate it. You definitely showed lots of love, tapping those hearts. Dang, I really appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful remainder of your day, Smitty. And thank you for following. Y'all check out Smitty the Living. Thank you, Smitty. Alright, so calling land theft a manifest destiny. This is an example of pseudo-theology. What does that mean? When you're stealing land, bringing paper called a manifest destiny that has something to do with the Indigenous, autochthonous Niji, that's a problem. What else did they do? What did pseudo-theology do? Calling genocide civilization. This is why it is so hard in America right now, because all of these systems are kind of crumbling down. Maybe not fast enough for most people, but it's sad. I mean, groceries is off the chain. Bills are off the chain. You just see doom down your timeline a lot of the times, and it's sad. This government is always doing something that is causing an uproar every single day. If it's some racist stuff or changing history or just, I don't know. It's just, this whole year honestly has been really crazy. There's a knowledge war, and it's just kind of crazy. So this pseudo-theology is also calling hierarchy God's order. Yesterday we learned that they use medicine, law, and religion to justify enslavement. They said that God said it was good, God's order, and that certain people needed to be controlled. They also call obedience righteousness. So that's pseudo-theology. When God is used to silence the questions, that's not faith, that's fraud. And America was built on this fraud. They're using something spiritual to control people. And I realized this when, I keep seeing the church brought up in the argument with slavery. And that really should never be when you think about spirituality the way that I think about spirituality. Spirituality means like showing love, spreading love, being kind, like having faith, loving your, all these different positive messages. Colonizers didn't use it for that. Poison the food, yep, all of that, right? Poisoning the food, that's another big one. Chopping down the trees, it's a lot that happened. But that's what America was built on. The number one myth that we have to break is that America was founded on freedom. Freedom for who? That is the question. Anytime they got a chance to have a pen and a paper, it was always talking about the melanated, autochthonous, Niji people, the original people of America. Every time they got the pen and was trying to write us out of history, trying to erase us, trying to, give us GMO processed food, inequality in the workplace, in the school, everywhere we have had to fight this so-called freedom. Because honestly, when I go back and I read about the moments when these enslaving presidents who enslaved people were making the laws, they were saying freedom and this is defined as a white male Christian. Yeah, they did. You cannot preach liberty and justice for all while you enslaving people, displacing people, and reclassifying people. And for centuries, this has been done. It has been enforced. It has been severe oppression on my people. So freedom for who? Not freedom for all. Even now, it's technically not freedom for all. And honestly, I'm just sick of racism in this country. I'm sick of it. Everywhere you go, you see it. It's just, when does it end? I don't know. When does it end? But the second myth that they like to lie about with theology, we at 1K hearts. Thank you for tapping it up, Smitty the Living. I appreciate it. The second thing in the myth that they tell you is that God ordained the enslaving system. This is what they believe. They believe that God told them to do black codes, slave codes, draw borders, erase people, steal their land, because the Pope thought that, hey, we're going to seize the whole world. This is a new world order when you can seize the entire world, which colonizers have seized about 90% of the world. These slave codes, black codes, this stuff is really sickening things to read. But listen, I'm going to read it because I got to know. We have to read these things so that way you're enlightened and you're not walking around looking crazy. God didn't create slave codes. Why y'all trying to act like God told y'all to do that? Ain't no God told y'all to do that. God didn't create no fake borders. He didn't tell y'all to do that. So that is what pseudo-theology is. It's using something that is supposed to have a positive light, controlling it for yourself, making this figure about white supremacy and saying this figure is telling me to oppress you and enslave you and that you can't be responsible for yourself. Right? So when a foundation is cracked, everything built on top of it shakes. And that is what is going on in society right now till this day. That's why there's uproar on TikTok. Uproar. I see it on even Facebook. It's an uproar. Entitlement. Whenever you come to a land that you do not own and you commit all types of heinous crimes, trafficking of my ancestors. Let's call a spade a spade. Let's call it what it is. Because a lot of people like to sugarcoat it. They don't want to call it what it is, but that's basically what it was. A government built on legal enslavement, imprisonment of people. Laws that didn't make any sense. Even now, there's so many laws that don't make any damn sense. But we have to abide by it. How do we become to be this country, this place, full of hate? The foundation was built on hate. The foundation was built on lies. Erasure. I was watching a movie tonight. I don't know, I think it's a documentary, not a movie, by Jordan Peele, about the black cowboy and how they erased the black cowboy. They tied this figure with white people. But the original black cowboy was always black. But the moment it became popular, they said, no, we got to make this a white cowboy. So now in America, all you see is the white cowboy. And I know I grew up thinking that Westerns didn't like them, cowboys or white people. This is what you see on TV. My uncles just sit and watch Westerns. I'm like, ugh, a Western. If it's one genre of movie that I do not like, it's the Western. I don't know. I just don't like it. But the cowboy, I learned, and I'm happy Jordan Peele did this documentary because we learned that they were also erased. Tina Knowles is in this documentary. It's on Peacock. Go check it out. Let me get the right name for you. Let me give y'all the right name. Because, you know, Jordan Peele, he tried to tell it like it is. It's called High Horse, the Black Cowboy. The only thing that I see that people are missing, and once people actually connect the dots and realize that the black people are the indigenous people, it is going to be a wrap for the government. Because some people still don't know who they are. That's the only thing I see in this movie is people still don't know that they are from this land. They still don't know. I feel like the government laughs at us every day because we think that we're African. We think that we're from Africa when we're actually here. That's the biggest lie. Just like the cowboy. You see how easy propaganda can make you think that a cowboy is a white guy. But according to this movie, the cowboy was the help. The farmhand. The black cowboy, as they called him. The melanated cowboy who was really the indigenous man. Right? When it was a white man, it was called a cow hand. When it was black, they called him the cowboy. It wasn't even a glorified position the way they glorified it now because they realized that it became popular and they wanted to make money. This is how history is often whitewashed. Go check out this show, High Horse, the Black Cowboy, on Peacock. I think you'll find it enlightening. I just wish that they would know that they were the Indians. He talked about playing the game Cowboys and Indians. You know. And it's things like that and stories like that that make you think, wow, they really bamboozle us and trick us out our spot. Today, the consequences of pseudo-theology, lying to a people, using religion to oppress these people. It don't even sound right, but that's what they do. Look it up for yourself. There's an argument now because white Christian nationalists are leading the country, but if you talk to these people, they are very racist. So white Christian nationalist racists are leading the country. And it's sad because this creates economic instability, a burnout culture. Everybody walk around hating. It's like too much hate going on. A country built on solely on hating another person is a country set out to doom. Especially when these people built things. They did the agriculture. They did the hard work and get nothing from it. People are always talking about, dang, everybody is always talking about the African American. Everybody is always in it with black people. Why? Why is it so much oppression towards us? It's because we indigenous, guys. That was the main instructions in the doctrine of discovery. That was the main instructions from the Pope, is to go out to these indigenous nations and convert them to Christianity so that we can control them. And in America, that is exactly what has happened. This is all creating mental health collapse, moral confusion. You have a group of white people thinking God told them that they were better and that they're supposed to oppress people and be slave patrols and stalk people and do all these different evil things. It creates identity loss. People feel tired because they're living inside a lie that demands constant performance. Once I realized I was living in a matrix and this was demanding constant performance, you just have to be constantly on it to be a part of the American dream, they say. And you get tired of that. I am so happy that I came into true knowledge. Even if there aren't many of us who know the true knowledge, the history is all there. The receipts are all there. All it takes is for people to go and read. Now when I come across someone who wants to battle or debate, I'm like, yeah, you didn't read. You didn't really read. And if you read, you obviously benefit from the oppression. You obviously feel like, yeah, that's right. I'm better. I'm white. I'm supreme. You benefit from the oppression, right? So people feel tired. America is exhausted. People are exhausted. Like, what is coming? We're talking about AI stealing jobs. We're talking about the government stealing jobs. We're talking about the government just being off the freaking chain right now. Like, what is going on with them? So don't feel like you're lazy. Don't feel like you're broken. You're exhausted from carrying a system that was never built for truth. And we honestly have to get back to the truth. And the truth sometimes hurts. Right? And what pissed me off the most, and I see this comment often, oh, just get over it. What does that mean when they say, oh, just get over it, why don't you? That was get over it. Hell to the no, we will never get over it until we have justice on our land. When people say, why do you care about history? Honestly, I never did care about history until I realized history was talking about me and my ancestors. When people say, why do you care? What they're really saying is, please don't expose the scaffolding holding my comfort together. Please don't expose it, because then I'm uncomfortable. Because I realize my forefathers, as they call them, were full of shit. They was on some BS, if you ask me. Straight BS. History isn't about the past. History explains the present. So when we ignore the present and we try to exist in this country and keep going, it crumbles. The homelessness crisis is off the chain. The RV crisis, the grocery prices, all the bills are double. Health insurance is full of crap now. What happens to a country? Why are you wearing that hairnet so late after you see what? After you're, I don't even understand what you said. Taste the biscuit. I don't understand the sentence, because it started out with why am I what? Say it again. Let me see what you said. Taste the biscuit. Why are you cafeteria? You said I after my tea service refill cart shift. What is that? I don't even know what that means. And this isn't a hairnet. Don't run. Tell me what you mean. You got my attention. You're talking shit. Tell me what you mean. Because at the last time I checked, was this my goddamn head? Okay. I'm trying to figure out where you all in my business. See what I'm saying? It seemed like you would know about that more than me. Maybe you work in the cafeteria, but I don't understand what you're talking about. You obviously can't read. Go to my profile and see what it say. Go to the profile. Let me see. It says motivational dentist, right? Stop. Let me see what your profile say. Taste the biscuit. The mayor of TikTok, founding member and mayor of TikTok, in charge of giving necessary suspension. Okay, so you with the bullshit. This is a primary example. Somebody trying to clock it. You ain't did nothing in life but go around here and troll. Fuck out of here, man. Fuck out of here, man. Pseudo fucking people trolling. Go read, man. This is what I'm talking. We talking about this right now. Trolls who sit and think that what they say be tea. It's not. What you said didn't hit like that. It ain't tea like that. Like, pipe down. Go read, man. While you go around here trolling people on the internet, go fucking read. Okay? Go find you something positive to do. Today is not the day to play with me. Right? So what do we do with this knowledge, guys? What do we do with this knowledge from these white supremacists? Racist, hateful, evil ass people. What do we do? Awareness without action becomes despair. And I feel like right now, we got a lot of us who are aware. Maybe not a lot, but many of us who are aware. Right? But we're not taking action. So we feel despair. People feel sad because what can you do? You often feel helpless. At this point, the first thing is to reclaim your discernment. Stay away from evil, negative people, because they're going to always come in your space. Like, why are you in my space? Just let me know that much. Okay. Right? So we have to question the narrative every second, especially the ones that demand obedience without understanding. A lot of these rules and laws want you to be obedient without you even understanding. You had a whole bunch of colonizers coming over here with paperwork and manifest destinies trying to tell indigenous people what? No, Taste the Biscuit. You trying to play. You trying to be funny. Talking about entertaining. That ain't entertaining. Trying to be funny talking about I work in a cafeteria? No, bitch. I work in the dental office. Okay. What do we do with this knowledge? Because we can't stay in despair. We can't allow pseudo pretendians, colonizers, oppressors, people who are meant and bent on misunderstanding you to cause you to be in despair. I don't understand what are you talking about? What that mean? NAC International? Am I missing something here? I'm so confused. What does that mean? Break it down for me. Because I don't know what it is. Anywho. So, you have to heal spiritually without hierarchy. You don't need permission to connect to the truth. You don't have to be obedient to some oppressor. You don't. What? See, now you get muted, because what are you talking about? Just irritating, Biscuit. Your name irritating, your comments irritating. You just irritating. Please take your ass to sleep. Okay? Like, you just irritated me. I had to just mute your ass, because you're irritating. Anywho. You don't need permission to connect to the truth, guys. You don't need permission to have discernment about what you learn and what you read, because if you don't, you might end up learning stuff that actually causes you to feel more disconnected and oppressed, because that's what this system was built on, oppression. So we have to build parallel systems, build community, education, economic literacy, and mental sovereignty. That's the thing, mental sovereignty. So many people get depressed, go through mental health issues, they hold it in, they don't tell people, they feel embarrassed. Everybody going through something, you feel like, oh, they're going to judge me. Don't feel like that. It's going to be okay. Get your mental sovereignty, meaning in the mind, you clear. All of the things outside of you are not required for you to be awesome, to wake up tomorrow and live your best life and be positive. Right? So build those systems where you pour into your community and teaching the youth, like, I wish somebody would have actually taught me true history instead of in high school this pseudo history. When you don't teach kids the truth and they find it out, this is what creates madness. Madness. Another thing is to stay human. Don't let righteous anger turn you into fighting. Because right now we just literally at war, but don't let it get you so angry. You're going to have trolls. You're going to have people who benefit from oppression, so their whole angle, such as the government, is about oppressing people. Trump thinks that the indigenous people love him. Where you get that shit from? Where you get it from? So we have to be personally empowered and feel like we are not behind. History has us feeling like we're behind. Colonization can make you feel like you're behind, but you're not. If you're just not waking up to the truth, you're not late. You're protected. And I'm going to tell you something about truth, because I didn't always live in the truth. I spent 30 plus years of my life living the pseudo life, being deep in the trenches with it too. Deep in the trenches with it. But the one thing that really made everything click for me and I realized, wow, I really am in the matrix, was, just studying genealogy. That's the first step. Like, that's going to be always like the first step for me. When people don't know who they are, go learn who you are. Go to ancestry.com and do your genealogy. What exactly is genealogy research? Because, if you aren't doing it, then you don't know who you are. Unless somebody in your family already did it, then. But it is important to do this. It's the family tree. I'm not talking about DNA. I'm talking about your family tree. It can save your life. It can save your life. It can save your mind, which ultimately saves your life. So that's why America really did make a fatal mistake teaching pseudo history from every angle. And I'm still just trying to figure out, where do we go from here, guys? When does the country get pissed enough to say, you know what, this ends now? Because all this talking, it just leads us to sadness and helplessness, a hopeless feeling. But I'm still believing that knowledge is the power. What's up, y'all? How y'all feeling? How you feeling? How you feeling? So other than that, guys, today was kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. Just seeing all of the truth coming out. And how this white Christian nationalism has resurged in the world. And how we still have oppression right now. White Christian nationalists. So when you hear on the news, and you'll probably see this coming out more with the government, because people are on their ass. They on the ass because they're calling these white Christian nationalists. They're using the same thing they were using back then. You have to pay attention. They are still weaponizing faith. They're still doing it right now to this day. A white Christian nationalist is not Christianity. It's pseudo-theology. It is a political ideology. Again, we find where they say America was chosen by God to be oppressed. God, it's just crazy, told them to do this. The white identity is central to that destiny. Them feeling entitled, coming over, you're under my control. I'm here to tell you these are all lies. No, God told you to do that. Maybe that. Those drugs you was on told you to do that. That's what I'm thinking, y'all. I'm thinking they had to be on some type of drugs. All of them. It had to be. That wasn't God telling you to do people like this. They replace this. They just replace anything indigenous with this white image. Just like in the movie The Black Cowboy on Peacock. Go check it out. Go check it out. They replace humility, having kindness, all that stuff like that that you normally would expect normal people to have. They replace that with hierarchy. The hierarchy that you can still feel in the room when you go out now. It's like, damn, you think you better than me. Service with supremacy. And they replace the love with control. So when you have a society where love is replaced with controlling people and hate and all this stuff, how long do we expect this type of society to last? Oppressing the melanated, autochthonous, Niji of this land and lying to them. Do you think they're never going to find out? And that is the problem with this society, is when we find out, it's kind of like gaslighting happens. Oh, that was so long ago, but yet you still making laws right now that aren't that long ago. Oh, why do you care? I care because this is my ancestors whose land you stole, and we finna figure out how you did it. Oh, why does this matter? Because of you still learning these lies right now, and they feeling like they starting at the bottom and feeling less than still to this day. We're not teaching them, hey, your melanin is powerful. We're not teaching them about the original black cowboys. That's why Beyonce made the Cowboy Carter. Because we were the original cowboys. This whole genre of cowboys and cowgirls, it started with us. But just like everything that starts with us, it gets stolen. White Christianized. It gets, oh no. They want to say, oh, these melanated people in America don't have no culture. Well, I'll be damned. Well, what is everybody copying? What you mean to say is that we lied to these people when we came over here, told them they was off the boat when we didn't have no evidence, still don't have no evidence of the boat. We lied to them because we actually came on the boat because we weren't here before the 1600s. So we came on the boat to oppress them, steal their culture, and then present to the world like this is our culture. You see it with the music. You see it with Elvis copying all the greats. People you probably never heard of. But he copied a lot of people. Then it gets whitewashed and the kids don't learn. All they put up is Elvis to hide the greatness. It's sad. And a country built on this type of this type of energy, this type of negativity has no choice but to crumble spiritually. You may not see it with your eyes, but spiritually this country is crumbling. People are finally realizing what we've been saying this whole time. You can't run something positive and build something as a community in a country when you still trying to hate the main people who built the country. Who built you in the White House making laws against us that we built. They leased enslaved people to build a White House. But you in here making laws that has everything to do with us. And that's why I can't see how people don't really connect the dots. When you read Despotism in America, go look this book up, Despotisms in America. And you see that the main result of war is enslavement. POWs. It says it. After you take out the chiefs, the leaders, then you convert the women, the children. You move people. You traffic them. You move them here. You move them there. You move them here. It's trafficking. This is a government that was doing trafficking, kidnapping, RAPE, homicide, democide, genocide, any kind of side you can name. They was making it legal because they used theology. They used Christianity to say, you know what, God told me it's not a sin to do what I'm doing to you. He gave me the divine right. You gotta be careful who the hell you listening to. Dead ass. You have to be careful. From the very beginning in this country, religion was used to justify domination. Yesterday we went into a deep dive about the delectable Negro and how we were even used as food. Hair used in pillows and chairs. This stuff is so, you couldn't imagine something like this going on today. You hear someone doing this today, you'll be like, oh, this person is a psycho. This is what these people were doing. Okay? They frame enslavement as salvation. Listen, I'm your salvation. When you wanna run away, this is drapetomania. This means you have a mental illness, they said. They use medicine even. The Bible wasn't just preached back then, because they forced them to go to Sunday school to colonize them, to assimilate them, forced them to go to work. That's why I'm just trying to correlate the colonization that they enforced back then till now, because they think that it made the society better, when in actuality it didn't. The Bible was interpreted, edited, selectively placed here in this country, and weaponized. They turned Jesus from a revolutionary teacher into a mascot for their empire, and they made him white. A lot of melanated people right now have a white Jesus on the wall. This guy who they think said it's okay to oppress you. They said it's okay. What's up, Bubby Giro? Just got that number 1 gifter badge. Alright? Here's how pseudo-theology works in real life. Let's give it to you in real life. You have obedience preached over justice. This is the whole thing. Hey, you're going to be obedient to me. God told me to enslave you and do all these things to you and steal the land because I'm smarter. The medicine says that I'm smart, because whenever you're melanated and you don't want to listen, this is like a diagnosis. They were saying, hey, you diagnosed with drapetomania. So they push being obedient. That's why so many of us are obedient. You already know people going to go to the job. They got the white supervisor. It's yes ma'am, no ma'am. You bowing down, lowering your spirit. Because deep down, they have trained you to feel like they're better than you. Preaching obedience to this white image over justice for your life. You don't even want to fight for justice because we're obedient now. We can't figure out how we keep losing as a society, as a community, because we're obedient to oppressors who have fucked this country up. All this pseudo-science, pseudo-theology, pretendians, all of these things, they don't build a country built on honesty, integrity. It's built on a country built on a silent lie. Everyone walks, well, I won't say everyone. Some people okay living in a lie. They made it work. But now, many people are realizing this silent lie is seeping through the cracks. And they don't want it to seep through the cracks. They want to erase us, erase our history, say we're from somewhere we're not, and try to stop the leakage of knowledge. But the leakage of knowledge has happened. You can't try to keep suppressing it. It only makes the situation worse. They reframe suffering as virtue. Hey, you're suffering. It's meant for you to suffer because you're melanated. This is science, they said. And anything they did that was evil, they protected it in the name of God. George Washington, when he had those 300 enslaved people and was sending people out to catch them, and Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, all of these enslavers, Andrew Jackson, people and presidents who enslaved people, just let that sink in. I would never let that thought go. Like, every day I had to remember, these government was built on enslavers. 13 presidents involved. Nearly 25% involved in the fabrics of America that you feel is so great. So when they say make America great again, they're talking about going back to that time when they felt like it was great, because they forced obedience. They forced this stuff. That was just a time of evil. I don't even know how y'all think that that's anything to do with greatness. That's how you know you deal with people who really like psychotic. That's the whole source of being in the Matrix. Today, this is important because it ties to the voting laws Education censorship. Certain things aren't taught. We were talking about the black cowboys. They're not going to teach these young melanated indigenous children that they're the original horse riders. They're the original people. They want to change the image. I remember coming to New York and being in the area of like where they do horse racing and the horse track, and you go there and it's just nothing but white people. This is how they steal the culture, steal everything, and put it on TV to take it away from us. Policing originated from the slave patrol. That's still going on today, heavily. Economic hardship, oh my goodness, it's still happening to this day. Economic hierarchy, still happening. And whose history is allowed to be taught? Our history has been banned. So if you walk around here feeling like you don't really know yourself, you don't really know history, you don't care about history, it's because it was set up to be this way. The white Christian nationalists, they didn't disappear. They went corporate. They went legal. It went quiet. But now there's an awakening because we realize who's truly leading the country. White Christian nationalists who feel like anybody who is not a white male Christian is beneath them. The law, they meant to suffer. And that's how silence works. That's how erasure works. It's like, just shut up. Some people be like, just shut up, Dr. Sean. Why you want to? Because it fucking matters. One day you guys will see. Hopefully it's in my lifetime that we will be able to see. But one day we will see. This truth shall be revealed. All eyes are going to see. The spell will be eliminated. Oppression doesn't just steal our land or our labor. So many years and decades we work with free labor, getting oppressed, harassed, abused. It steals the self-trust. You don't even trust yourself after you've been oppressed so long. This does psychological damage. When you've been tricked to think that you're less than. Right? People are taught to doubt their intuition in this society. They're taught to deny their ancestry. Something that takes us not a lot of time to do ancestry. People have been taught to deny it. You'll walk around now, people deny their ancestry because someone told them they were from somewhere else. So they will deny it up and down. You'll be like, hey, we from here, we indigenous, and they will deny it because they've been psychologically damaged to think, oh no, I'm from Africa. They don't have not one relative there. Me, I had one relative, but I had this whole mindset. This is where I'm from. This is what I've been taught in school till I did my ancestry and realized, damn, I've been lied to. I was like, damn, I can't believe I fell for the okie doke, for the lie. And it feels like it's really not a lie because you can't have the freedom, the free time to go do this research on your own. But most people don't have the time. Secondly, they don't even have enough care. They don't care about being oppressed. They just deal with the mental health issues, work themselves to their old, and realize, damn, this country lied. I need more of us to wake up now, to catch on to it now. People are taught to doubt their intuition, again, deny their ancestry, suppress their anger. We've been taught to be obedient. Oh, it's not that bad. Suppress your anger. The police doing all this stuff. Oh, they're targeting us. Oh, it's so... No, it's not okay. They've been taught to spiritualize their pain. Oh, my God. Now, that's the big one for me. Spiritualizing your pain. Right? That's why the burnout is high. Depression is high. Disconnection is everywhere. Living under these false moral authority fractures of the soul doesn't make any sense. Real spirituality. Let's talk about real spirituality. Because there is a creator. We do have a maker. We do have someone who created us. We do have someone protecting us. The ancestors definitely looking down. The ancestors definitely paved the way. But it didn't look like a white man. Nah, that ain't our ancestors. Good evening. How are you? What's going on, Simon? Thank you for getting that heart, me. What's going on? Thank you for tapping the hearts. I'm so lucky to be your fan. Aw. I'm so lucky for you to be here. So real spirituality never needs coercion. You don't need to be bribed to be spiritual. You don't need to be bribed to be spiritual. Right? The truth does not. The truth doesn't fear questions. Think about it. A lot of people walk around here, they're scared to know the truth. They won't even listen. They won't read. They won't go research, because the truth, it doesn't fear questions. You should be allowed to ask questions. And see, me, when I was in my awakening process, for a long time I had a lot of questions. But when you're into religion and you are religious and you don't really want to ask the questions, because this is called catechism. When you've been trained to just be obedient, even if it don't make sense, shut up and clap your hands. Period. You don't question nothing, because there's a fear, oh, I better not question anything. Love doesn't require domination. And God don't need nationalists and white men trying to be God. We don't need you to do that. We need you to actually sit the hell down. Any system that demands silence to survive is not sacred. I'm going to repeat that again. Any system, it demands your silence for it to survive. That's not a sacred system. And all sacred systems come crashing down. They come crashing down right before your eyes. Right? So you are allowed to believe and think, to be spiritual and critical, and to honor the truth without submitting to the lies. My whole purpose is to get us to wake up and learn honest history. Question authority respectfully but firmly. Stand in your truth. What's up, chump? Stop confusing comfort with righteousness. And build a community rooted in truth and not fear. See, here in America, they have a country built on using fear and oppression and anger and madness. Still now to this day, it's not rooted in truth. And without the truth, it's destined to crumble, because fear doesn't last a lifetime. Fear isn't sacred. Fear is not indigenous to this land. Oppression is not indigenous to America. White supremacy is not indigenous to America. Yeah or no? No, it's not. It's not. Awareness is not about hatred. Some people will, oh no, it's not about hatred. The whole thing is to dismantle the hatred. It's about liberation. It's about telling the truth. I would just be so happy if this country would just go back and tell the fucking truth. Are we ever going to be to that place where we could tell the truth and not sugarcoat nothing? Can we get to this place where we don't feel oppressed and feel ashamed and you want to just follow everything a colonizer tell you to do? And you just believe everything. You know? So if you felt spiritually conflicted, mentally tired, morally confused, you are not broken. You're just waking up. You're waking up, and the truth don't always feel peaceful at first, but it leads to peace. I can tell you that much. The truth for me, when I opened my eyes and realized, I was like, damn, I was mad. I was pissed. I'm like, damn, I spent my whole life being trained and forced into religion, being trained and forced to go to church, you know, being trained in a system that wasn't even for me. I spent my whole life following some Christopher Columbus type bullshit. I spent my whole life honoring Christopher Columbus, not literally. What's up, Jizzle? Just got that heart, me. Tap in, y'all. Thank y'all for tapping the hearts. I spent my whole life under this colonized, oppressed mindset. The moment I got free, I'm gonna tell you what happened. I cried. I cried like a baby. I couldn't believe that I had not known what was really happening. And then when I did the research and the more I researched, the more I realized, oh my gosh, they got us down bad right now. That's what it seems like. So we have to keep removing these white Christian national mindsets from our brain. Continue to live in our truth, and don't turn me off TikTok. I'm really here. I'm moving TikTok. So white Christian nationalism thrives on silence. This is my last point. It thrives on your silence. It thrives on you not knowing. It thrives on you just going to work, living in a box, being broke, thinking you're finna work your way out, vote your way out. When actuality, that's never gonna work. It survives when you're silent. The real treasure, the real prize is knowing who you are and waking up. I kid you not. I can lose it all. But the key is I know who I am. That's priceless for me. When you in a world when you oppressed and you don't know it, and then you start losing stuff, you feel like it's all you, when actuality it ain't even you. It was meant for you to fail. That's why I go so hard, because I know that when I was in the hood and I ain't have shit, I was already set up for failure. I was born into failure. And I had to alchemize that. Turn that failure, turn that hood mentality into something. Be something better than what they set me up to be. Yeah, it was hard. 10 times harder. You're going to have to work 10 times harder than your white colleague. I was studying next to a person who had their mama. This is a white girl. I used to have a white friend that I studied with. I'm not her friend no more. That's a whole nother story. But she had her mom. She had her dad. They had the money. They had the setup for her to go right into dental school. And she didn't get in. Why? I don't know. But I got in. Right? I got in. Coming from the hood. Up against someone who had way more than me. Living in a luxury apartment. I'm stuck. I'm going to work. Going to school. 2 jobs. You can't tell me what you can't do. You can't tell me that knowing who you are is not going to make you feel liberated. Empowered. Because it is. Even though I had went through all that from hood to hood, when I woke up and realized who I really am, not this, I am a doctor, but I'm just saying from an indigenous standpoint, that really woke me up. I was like, wow, what if I had to spend my whole life feeling like I was from Africa, never doing my genealogy? I wouldn't know the names of my great-great-grandparents, because I would still be thinking that they over there in Africa somewhere, when they right here on the Census Bureau, with the government trying to erase their names out of history. And grandkids and great-great-great-grandkids who don't care because they've been trained to be silent, to read this, to not really care about who you are. I tell you who you are. You don't tell you who you are. In their head, I tell you who you are because God told me that you ain't good enough to govern yourself. You ain't sovereign enough to think for yourself. But this is where the lies end. Again, they thrive on your silence. Oppression thrives and survives on confusing us. So if everybody confused, don't want to read, then we're going to forever be lost. Reading is fundamental. You can just pick any topic. I'm talking to my Niji out there. Pick any topic. Go read about it. I promise you what you find is going to shock you. I'm talking about really read about it. Not be careful what you read. They have new editions of books. Last year when I was doing research, there's this book on the American Indians, right? Let the truth be told, Jizzle. Let it be told. I was doing some research on the American Indians. They had this book for like $8,000 with our history in it. So when it's real true history, it's like $8,000. But the whitewash versions of this book was like $300. Because they want you to be able to forward the lie. They want to make the truth way up here. It's called A Dare. Let's see the name of this book. It's called A Dare. And I wonder how much it's going for now. Because last year it was $8,000. A Dare's History of the American Indians. Oh, they got one version for $34, but the real version, it ain't cheap at all. And you'll know the real version because the real version is super. They don't want us to have that real version. A Dare American Indian book. Let's see, first edition. Let's see if I can find it. I see one for $3,500. See what I'm saying? Reading is power. Why is a book $3,500? Because it's talking about you, the copper tone, melanated, Niji. It's talking about us. But if you go get the whitewash version, that mug $24 now. Because it ain't got the truth in it. It can't be found in it. Once they start lying, it become cheap. Just like this society became a cheap, broke society because it got too much lying. They did too much lying. I'm gonna show y'all this book. Let me see if I can pull it up to show y'all this book. I'm gonna show y'all on TikTok as well. But I ain't lying. When it's our history, listen, man, they gonna try to charge us a lot. It's gonna be like, nah, you're not reading this unless you got $7,000. Truth is costly on a lot of levels, but it will always stand. Exactly. Thank you, Jizzle. I'm gonna show y'all this book so y'all can kind of see what I'm talking about. Let's go over here, TikTok. Flip the screen. Oh, hold on. Flip. It's kind of blurry, but you get the picture. So this book right here, the book of the history of the American Indian, this one right here is $3,500. This one right here. So this is how you know when your history is being hidden from you. Silence, because they don't want you to. Oh, I just froze. Hold on. Difficulties. Let's try it again. Activate. Back. Okay, I'm back. So the first one is $3,500. This one right here, the history of the American Indian. This one is $4,300. This one right here. Oh yeah, $6,887. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. Hold on, let me make sure y'all can see. So you don't know when your history, you know when it's about you, because it's gonna be unaffordable. You know who the real Indians are, because why hide this? Why make this so outrageously priced? If I ever have an extra $7,000, this is what I want. I want this book. I gotta have it. Contains, let's see what it got in this book. Contains an account of the origin, language, manners, religious and civil customs, laws, form of government, punishment, conduct of war and domestic life, their habits, diets, agriculture, manufactures, diseases and methods of cures, a complete Indian system of observation. What else it said? And former historians, the conduct of our colony governors, all of this stuff in this book. American Indians. It says this guy who wrote this, he was one of the first white settlers to explore Alleghenies, and he lived among the true Indians of the particularities of the Southern Indians. Now when you go to the South, who in the South? You don't see no damn Native Americans. You breaking up, it could be intentionally. It could be, but we still rocking like a cut-off stocking. So this book, guys, this is why I tell you, your history, who you are, is expensive. It's better if you don't even try to go get it, because, nah, it's too expensive. $6,887. That's crazy. That's how important you are. That's how valuable you are. That's how important we are. Now I'm gonna find these coins. Somebody brought it up yesterday. We are on coins. The coins are like $2,000 with our face on it. Let me see if I can find this coin. But yeah, the history of the American Indian. Now, listen, the same book. This is why I say you gotta get the first version. You can't be duped. Look at this version. Look at this version of the American Indians. Now this is the whitewash version. You see they got the picture on here to try to confuse you. How much is this whitewash version? Oh, let's see. $172. Yeah. They got cheaper versions than that. $36. This one is $36. I wonder who owned the book. I don't know who owned it, but see the same name. So this is the whitewash version of that same book. How much? $18. That's how you know. $18. So this ain't something we just making up. This is something we know. We know how valuable our history is. We know all the lies that go into covering up who we are, but they know exactly who we are. We won't know because they got our history in the museums, locked up in $8,000 books. I never seen a book that high until I started doing my research last year, and I came up upon some information. And I'm always the historian who want the original source. I already know how whitewashing works. So I'm like, dang, why is this 8th version? What do you need an 8th version for? Because every version erases a little bit more of us. Put the pictures in it. So you can think that the American Indian is the Native American. All right, you see they got the teepees on there now. That wasn't down in the South. That wasn't the Mississippi mound builders. You see they don't have no mounds on there, no pyramids on there. Because that ain't us. Yeah. Whitewash. So whoever owns this book, they gonna know who bought it. But I was like digging, and I found the book, and I was like, wow, how much is the book? And I was like, whoa. That's where my knowledge stopped because I couldn't go deeper. I can't afford an $8,000 book. Well, I know in college, books was probably the most I spent for college books, like organic chemistry book or books like that, maybe about $400. Books can be hella expensive in college, $300-400, but $8,000. So if we was a collective, if we was really about getting our history, we would be like, hey guys, let's all put in and get this book. Let's get this book. If we value knowledge that much, we would say, let's get it. Let's get it. Now let's see what else. Because someone said there are no melanated people on the coins. Another lie. Another lie. I'm just trying to see if I can find these coins with us on it. In actuality, I have it on my phone. Y'all could probably see it on TikTok, but let's see. $580. American Liberty 1/10 ounce gold proof coin. Who's that on there? See, when it's us on it, it's gonna be hell of expensive. It's gonna be very expensive. There go another one. The Tuskegee Airmen on the coin. They got one of these coins for like $2,000. Maybe some millionaire will assist you with obtaining the book, like Oprah, maybe. Maybe. That would be great. Listen. Before I'm just gonna say, one day I will have that book. One day, because I know it exists. That's the biggest thing. Once you know it exists, now I know that it's out there, I want it. I'll spend $8,000 just to read what's in it. Some people, I would spend that money. If I had it, I would spend it and get that book. Because I know it has so much truth about who we are in it. You know? So that's why I say, hey, it's a dirty game we playing out here. They not only erasing our history, they whitewashing it, putting the true history in books where you can't afford, museums, the Vatican. And I always wonder, what did they have in the Vatican? I'm sure it's just a lot of our stolen stuff hidden from us. So that's why we have to wake up, guys, and know who we are. I think you deserve it. Thank you. Like, that's gonna be one of my ultimate gifts to myself one of these days. If I ever like take off and get like a big lump sum of money, I'm getting that book first. I'm getting that like first. All right. So don't let these white Christian nationalists trick you out of your spot and think that you are less than and that you don't have a history that is highly valuable. When they change your identity, only then does your history becomes tied to enslavement. Because that's not worth nothing. That's not who you truly are. If we can trick them and make them think that they're not indigenous and have them fighting each other, hey, I'm from Africa, hey, no, I'm not American, then we win. But the moment we all wake up and realize, wow, we got some valuable ass history. Very, very valuable. Go look it up. It's more books than that. That's probably $8,000. I probably just don't know the name of them. But that's where our history lies. It's locked up in very valuable treasure. It's locked up. Okay? I don't see none of the Native Americans trying to go get this book because they act like they want to be indigenous so bad. I don't see y'all going to get this book. You'll be happy with the $20 version, but we want the real version. They'll be happy with the $20 version. Oh, see, it's easy for them to go buy and prove lies and yeah. So when you want to know who you are and how much you worth, listen, you worth so much that they had to put eight racks, 6-7 racks on the book. If you want a coin, they're gonna make it about 5,000, 500, 2,000. Anything that has your likeness on it, the American Indian likeness on it, is gonna be expensive. Okay, so just know that you are expensive. You might not know it, but they know. So I want us to know that you are expensive. You are priceless. Don't let nothing break your spirit. Nothing. I don't care what these white Christian nationalists doing. Don't let it break our spirit, guys. As we see earlier, if we keep learning about the truth and not taking action, it leads to despair because we got all this knowledge. What are we going to do with it? What do we do with it? That's like the golden question right now. What is going to happen to this country now that everyone is waking up on a mass level? I mean, it's happening like exponentially. Last year, when I woke up, I was like, oh my gosh, it's going to take us, I might not even be alive when this flip over. But I have a different mindset now. I know that something is happening in the atmosphere. So we just got to stay on the right track. I have to show up here every single day. Even when you're going through stuff, I show up here. I was tired today, going through a lot, but I'm still showing up here, dealing with my practice, dealing with that stressing me the hell out. But I already know what I'm up against. So I have been into the mindset, if it's for me, it's going to be peaceful for me to keep it. It's going to be peaceful in the spirit. If something's not for you, it's going to be hell. So you just got to learn how to pick and choose your battles. But in whatever battle you picking and choosing, always choose yourself. Always choose your greatness. Always feel empowered, no matter what you go through. I'm telling you, I'm going through, I would say, hell right now, behind the scenes, off the live, when it comes to business and entrepreneurship. If you've been in entrepreneurship, you know some days you go through hell with it, trying to learn it, trying to figure it out. But at the end of the day, I still feel empowered because of who I am and my ancestors. What's so Christian nationalists in their goal? So the white Christian nationalists, That's what this whole country was built on, was white Christian nationalists. Their goal is to oppress people, control the government, control everything. Um, they're taking away money from taxes to fund the military. I think they spent a lot of money getting the military together. They took out of people's mouths. So they're all about just feeling superior, feeling supreme. The white Christian nationalist mindset comes back from the people we talked about yesterday. So yesterday, let me see, we talked about cannibalism in America. These white Christian nationalists, they come from the same mindset that they are better. God told them to control the indigenous people, or anyone who basically doesn't look like them. God told them to control these people. So they are built on just ideology that always puts us at the bottom. For example, someone mentioned Robert Louis Dabney yesterday. He was a Presbyterian theologian. So these people back then, and this was 1820 to 1898. So the white people today, the white Christian nationalists, they use religion to say that they have the right to oppress other people, or the right to make laws that oppress other people. People like Dabney said he systemized white supremacy as a Christian duty. So you see, white Christian nationalists are basically white supremacy, but they try to say a different name. They use Christian as a cover-up. Example, whitewash. Exactly. These people systemize white supremacy as a Christian duty. And that sums it up right there. They systemize white supremacy, saying that they were better because of their skull, like making up all this lies, as a Christian duty. So what they're saying is, in order to be a Christian, you have to be a white supremacist, because in their eyes, Christianity is something they brought over here. Christopher Columbus came passing out the Bibles when he landed in the West Indies. He put up crosses in places he was renaming, Fort Ferdinand and Queen Isabella Island. They just renamed stuff, put up the crosses, pass out the Bible. And they use that to systemize us and oppress us. But it's so hard for people in my community to believe that, because we are so tied to this religion, because it feels good. We turned it into something great. We tied it to who we are, got mixed into it, and they know this. So in their head, a white Christian nationalist, it's all about supremacy. I was baffled learning that the church funded slavery. The Vatican and the Pope is the one who granted slavery and enslavement. These are things that it's just hard to believe, but the truth is the truth. We're going to either tell the truth or sit here and feel less than and live in a lie. So white Christian nationalists, they felt it was a social duty to be a white Christian supremacist. Most of the KKK are white Christians. They go to church. You feel what I'm saying? They forced enslaved people to sit under the church in shackles while they talked about God and them controlling you. They forced them to sit in the back of the church while they was teaching them to be obedient, not question what they're teaching. God told me to do this, and God said that you can't do that. They was forcing them to be obedient, right? This is the foundation for Reconstruction, universal suffrage, abolition, racial equality, integrated education. They said,
I thought you outside. You see, I was there.
They said slavery was biblical. I'm about to get off of here.
Nah, go ahead.
No, I am though. I've been on here for an hour and 20 minutes.
I love it. Slavery is biblical.
They said slavery was biblical, right? They said white dominance was necessary for civilization. So when we talk about white Christian nationalists, right, they made white supremacy their Christian duty. So there's no way we could be tied into that.
Correct.
Even though we want to be so glued to it like Gorilla Glue.
Right.
It had nothing to do with you.
Correct.
And that's how you get burned. Okay?
Yep. Jesus was created for a political power.
Period. That's why they whitewash him.
Correct. Through the church.
through the church.
For land grabs from indigenous people.
For the land grabs. For all of that.
Yep.
So they said slavery was God ordained.
How can that be such?
You said how can it can't be such, but this is the whole point. White Christian nationalists are here to trick you out of your spot, to make you think you're something that you're not, so they can kind of lead over you and you can be obedient and you won't question nothing.
Right.
You'll be silent. You won't go read. And if you do read anything, it's going to be pseudo history. Just like the book we just looked up, the $8,000 book, they got the $24 knockoff whitewash version.
Right. Right.
The real stuff is expensive. So the moral of the story that I'm getting off of here is you very expensive.
Yep. They've been charging you $30 through your ancestry.
You very expensive.
Right.
Stop playing.
You are ancient artifact.
Sacred.
You're sacred people.
Stop playing.
That's why the world is attacking you right now.
That's why.
That's why. Because they know the trueness of your what? Indigenality.
Indigenality. Hold on, because you're what was it? You are, what's the word? Indigenous.
Oh, I like that.
Indigenous.
That's when they got. That's what's going on now. Or that's what you.
No, I seen that somewhere. Indigenous.
Yeah.
Somebody was like, "Why waste the opportunity to call yourself Indigenous?"
Right.
I'm like, what? But yeah, this has been the Hood to Hooded podcast.
Right.
With Dr. Sean, aka Dr. Cheek the Sunflower. Never forget who you are. You are sacred, and we never letting them break our spirit. I will see y'all tomorrow for another episode of the Hood to Hood podcast. Make sure you follow, like, subscribe, and I'm out.
And next time she may introduce the chief.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And we
what?
start, and I may come in and drop some knowledge on them, cause I just found something out that was very important. That I just found out from one of the Indian tribes.
What?
So the stick on the subject you were just talking about, it's crazy because I just seen this.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know, right, why black people are so connected to the word Jesus?
Because Christopher Columbus was connected to the word
Right.
Jesus. Good night, guys.
So that's what I do know too, right?
What?
But how about it was an Indian chief named Jesus in America, but it was spelled with a G because there was no J back then. It was G-I-I-Z-I-I-S. G-E-E-Z-I-I-S. Jesus. And he was a chief of an Indian tribe in America.
My thing is, how would they know to put that in a Bible
I
over
wouldn't
there
know.
in Europe? And then,
Because
like, why would they?
Because you got to think about it. Because look, watch.
I have an issue with that, though.
But I'm not saying we need to follow religious purposes. I'm just saying they take names and put in places
so that you
and
can
switch
connect
the
to
names
it.
correct.
Yeah, I can see
Like
that.
reclassification, like Negro to Indian. Negro. You know what I mean? I'm just talking about the reclassifications, how they took names. Because remember, you got to remember from 1607 when King James came to America, he did what in 1611?
He
We
rewrote
wrote
the Bible.
Mm-hmm. So that's how he was able to get some of these Indian chiefs' names.
But my thing is,
But
thank
none
you
of
for
it is
following
true.
your mind.
I'm just telling you, none of it. What they did was political power.
Propaganda.
But what they tried to do is put some words and names
To connect you to it.
to connect you to it so you fall for Christianity, which is a religious. And we're more spiritual people.
But see, they made Christianity the law.
Correct. They made it the law.
They made it a law. They made
Yep.
Sunday school mandatory.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
Thank you for following. I love Zans441. They said, who are you talking to?
But she's talking to the chief.
Unto the hell you talking to?
I'll wave my hand so they can see me.
Like, who
She's
you
not
talking
psycho, alright? She's not psycho. She's talking to the big chief. Matter of fact, when she come on tomorrow, I'm coming on with my fellas, man, and I'm gonna speak.
Snap.
Yeah, I ain't gonna play with y'all.
Okay.
I'm coming with my attire on.
We gonna have our first guest?
Yeah, you got your first guest.
Okay.
She's Sacred 9.
She's Sacred 9 coming to the live. So what time?
And if y'all don't know me, I'm on TikTok as Chief Sacred 9. You can go to my page and find nothing but indigenous work all through my
You
page.
said my glasses big as hell.
Who said that?
I like big glasses. Are you a real dentist? Yes. So this Kick, they be having trolls on Kick.
Oh yeah, there's
Somebody said Chief.
What's up? What's up? Yes, sir.
Jesus said Chief.
Yeah, we're gonna drop that knowledge tomorrow, so you better come back tomorrow to get this work, man.
Are you?
Huh?
No, I'm listening.
What they said?
Nah, I'm talking about these people over here. These crazy.
They say, "Are you what?
Are you a real dentist?"
Oh yeah, she's a real.
Nah, I'm not a real dentist. I just pretend like I'm a dentist.
You gonna get your thing right quick?
No, I'm a pretend dentist.
You gonna get it right quick?
Mm-mm.
Let me get your
Nah, I don't got nothing to prove to nobody. Am I a real dentist? Maybe I'm not. Who knows?
Yeah, she's a real doctor of dentistry.
Maybe I'm a scam artist. I'm just kidding.
Nah.
All right, y'all. I gotta get off of here. Have a good night. I've been on here 25 minutes over my time. Thank you for getting that number 2 gifter badge, Simon. Dang,
what's that? Twitch?
Nah, this TikTok. What happened to my? Would y'all let me smoke at the dentist? Shit. What?
Where that's from?
This kick.
Oh yeah, them nothing but trolls.
Yeah, that's just trolls. They just be talking shit.
Yeah, they just.
I'm about to get off of here though. Good night, guys.
A bunch of immature tadpoles.
Yeah, kid got a lot of trolls.
That's why they got peanut brains. Y'all got some small peanut brains on.
We ain't finna start with you, Chief. Y'all better leave the Chief alone. I
would smoke you. I'm telling you.
Not.
I would make you feel bad.
Yeah. Nah.
So I'm the last person you want to go with. Boy, I would smoke you.
Chief mad as hell for what?
I just came off my live, you know what I mean, digging in some. I was on my live just crushing these folks. Putting the fake. I can't show myself. Putting these fake pretendians back in their place.
Putting the pretendians in their place.
Oh my God.
They came to your live.
Man, I had it rocking. Yeah, it was a fake Native American girl and a couple guys. Boy, cooking show was on. But it was so fun and funny. They couldn't improve anything. They just completely embarrassed themselves on live, man. And everybody was in my live was just laughing. They was like, "Oh my God, I learned so much that I never learned in school on this live tonight in 30 minutes." I said, "I know you did." But yeah, man.
So now I crush y'all. How? What that mean? You a crush us? Crush us how?
Man, boy, you sound fruity.
You just on the internet talking shit.
Yeah.
Anyways, I ain't got time to be talking shit on the internet with y'all.
Not to these.
I'm out.
Well,
bye.
You watching us. You know what I'm saying? We ain't watching you because you a nobody. You dig what I'm saying? Something brought you over here, troll. You hear what I'm saying? Because you fell in love with the melanin. That beautiful smile. She look like a Choctaw Indian. You dig what I'm saying? You ain't nothing but a cave monkey. All right?
Hey,
now, let's
I'm gone, y'all.
Yo, get out of here, boy.
I'm out of here.